When American companies can't compete, they clamp down on tech for so called national security concerns. Our entire life, we've been told that China is stealing our intellectual property when the reality is American companies can't hold a candle to theirs. Let's get into it. So, one battle we see is between Chinese and American electric vehicle companies. BYD recently overtook Tesla in global EV sales for the first time ever. And this comes years after Tesla's CEO laughed at the company, saying, quote, I don't think they have a good product. I don't think it's particularly attractive, and the technology is not very strong. So I think their focus should be making sure they don't die in China, end quote. They didn't die. They became a global EV superpower. Now, what makes them better? First, the cost. The BYD Han is cheaper, larger, and more luxurious than the Tesla Model 3. And with trucks, you can buy two BYD Sharks for the price of one Cybertruck. But it's the features that helped BYD eclipse Tesla, right? Drivers get ventilated and heated seats with massage functions, adjustable suspension for softer rides, and a rotating touchscreen. Premium models include built-in fridges and karaoke systems. And honestly, that's not even all of it. Environmentally, BYD leads too. Their Blade battery uses lithium iron phosphate chemistry that avoids nickel and cobalt entirely, meaning fewer toxic mines, easier recycling, and it resists catching fire when damaged, unlike Tesla. Once BYD looked like they could compete, like truly compete, the US slapped a 100% tariff to block it from American energy markets. And the crazy thing with the tariff, it might still be cheaper than some Tesla models. Oh, and even the Ford CEO says he drives a BYD vehicle that he don't want to give up. Now, the battle between American and Chinese smartphones follows the same exact script. In America, we have Apple. In China, they got Huawei. And I hate to break it to y'all, but Apple don't hold a candle to Huawei, okay? Huawei is more cost effective with more features. I'm talking better cameras, better displays, and longer battery life. And all these innovations resulted in Huawei overtaking Apple in sales in China, which was something that was considered impossible just a few years ago. Now, instead of just innovating, the US responded by banning Huawei from Google services and then blocking their access to advanced American chips. And their reasoning? National security. Now, social media tells the same story. TikTok's algorithm is so good at learning what we like that it created an entire generation of short form video addicts. And I hate to say it, but I'm one of them, okay? Now, Meta responded by copying the format with Reels, but like a wise woman once said, you can't compete where you don't compare. And the Reels didn't really catch on with that rapid fire interest that TikTok had. And we all know how the US government responded to that, right? They passed a law to ban TikTok unless it was sold to an American company. And their reasoning? National security. The artificial intelligence battle follows, surprise, surprise, the same exact pattern. The Chinese AI company DeepSeek dropped a powerful AI model that competes with ChatGPT, and it was built at a fraction of the cost. It's also open source, which means that anyone can look at the code and build on it, while ChatGPT systems are secretive. It's also free. Now, the drop of DeepSeek had people on Twitter calling Sam Altman a fraud, and he got hundreds of millions of dollars in investment just for this Chinese company to come in with a competing model that was cheaper and open source. It was a very embarrassing time for him, okay? Now, at this point, you should already know how the US government responded. Federal agencies, including the Pentagon, NASA, the Department of Commerce, the Department of Energy, and the US Navy banned the use of DeepSeek on government devices. More than a dozen state-level governments followed suit. And their reasoning? National security. At this point, national security is code for China built a better, more cost-effective product, and we gotta ban it before Americans realize we are being swindled by these corporations. And instead of encouraging innovation that protects American workers and cost-friendly vehicles that protects the working class pockets, the US model is just to ban its competition. For years, we've been sold the lie of Chinese companies stealing intellectual property and the idea that one day China is going to catch up to American products, when the reality is they've already surpassed us in more ways than one. So they take away our choice to explore alternative companies, and I guess the real fear is that if Americans had a real choice, we would choose the competition.